So today, I'm going to continue on my series, How to Use the Science of Mind. And I'm going to speak about spiritual awareness. But I want to start where we started every talk so far, in that there is a creative power that is everywhere present. It is always responding to the nature of our thoughts, and we can consciously choose how we use it. You see, this is real critical to everything we do. To this talk today about spiritual awareness, it is to be aware that there is a creative power. It is to be aware it is everywhere present. It is to be aware that it is always responding to our thought. It is to be aware that as we shift our thought, we are choosing how we use it. It is to be aware that how we choose to use it creates our life experience. So spiritual awareness is everything about our reclaiming our power. You see, to be spiritually aware is to know that we are one with life and that life flows through us. It is a state of being that we are seeking, eternally seeking, to expand into, to realize. We never get there. We're never fully there because it's eternal. Being eternal, it means we're always becoming more aware of this state. And if you think about your life right now, you're moving in and out of this state all the time. Most of the time right now, we're out of this state of awareness. We're out of being aware that there's a oneness within us. But if we keep doing our spiritual practice, we find moments where we become more aware, and that's when we reclaim our power. You see, spiritual mind healing is simply the revelation of our true nature. It's the revelation of our oneness. So when we talk about spiritual mind healing, we're talking about ridding ourselves of what we consider dis-ease. When we go into oneness and we realize oneness, there is no dis-ease. There is no contradiction. There is no contrast. There is only the experience of pure love. And you see, this awareness is the true destination of our life. This awareness is the experience of life. And we have moments, just moments of this oneness in our lives. You see, we've gotten confused. We've gotten confused in that we have allowed our ego to tell us things, to create ideas. In other words, we've anthropomorphized this thing called love. We made it human instead of divine. We made love about liking. We made love about being attracted to. That's not what love is. Love is simply knowing oneness. And that is what we're trying to do while experiencing life. You see, every type of spiritual practice we engage in is for the purpose to bring our consciousness to a higher level of spiritual acceptance. Whether we're meditating, doing gratitude, doing prayer, doing affirmations, doing forgiveness work, whatever it is we're doing, whatever that spiritual practice is, it's to raise our level of spiritual consciousness and acceptance. And as we do so, we become more and more and more empowered in our daily life, creating experiences and working and being with others. You see, our words are simply molds. It is our level of awareness in that we are one with life that fills these molds with living substance. You see, in our mind, we create an idea of the experience. That idea that we create and we build on creates a mold, an image, an atmosphere of what it is our lives to be. But when we get to a level of awareness, of oneness, that is the substance that fills the mold that becomes our experience. So you can't just visually, verbally create. You've got to get into oneness. Build a spiritual awareness in order for the demonstration to happen. You see, it's not the form one uses to bring about this union. It doesn't matter the practice. What matters is that the union is realized. It doesn't matter whether you're doing this meditation, that meditation, these affirmations, those mantras, that forgiveness work, this gratitude work. None of that matters as long as it brings you to a state of union. And you know, union is the very definition of yoga. Here in the West, we think it's about movement. That's not what yoga is. Yoga represents a path to experience oneness, a path to experience the divine. It might be doing sacred service. It might be in deep study. It could be in any one of many, many, many forms. But it's about the realization of oneness. And our job is to find a or the method that brings us to this state in any given moment. And it may change. This idea, this method may change depending on our level of consciousness. There are some days when meditation takes me there. There are other days when doing my mantra takes me there. There are other days just simply loving on my dog Casey takes me there. Doesn't matter what the method is. It's that you love and you're fully present in that moment. You see, the perfect is always within us. That which is perfect exists within us. The imperfect is what has been added by the human mind. You say, how did that happen? Well, a lot of that imperfect, that judgment, that not enoughness was added by our mom and dad, by religions, by politics, by business, by schools. Now keep in mind, most of it was unconscious. Some of it was conscious, but most of it was unconscious. Our parents, probably unconscious. They just didn't know any better. I know that when I was raising my two sons, I didn't really know any better. Now that I'm a grandfather, I have a much better idea, so that when I'm with my granddaughter, all I see is her perfection. I don't see a reason to criticize her. I see everything in life as for her to learn to become her greater self. You see, our roles as practitioners of science of mind is to bring our level of awareness back to the divine perspective, where there is always perfection. So where is there perfection? When there is no judgment. Anytime there's judgment, you're not going to experience perfection. And I think it's real important that we begin to understand that. That's why they say love does not know judgment. And when there's judgment, there's no love. Oneness cannot know judgment either. And oneness and love cannot be separated. So when you say you love someone, are you saying you're one with them? Are you saying you see their perfection? Or are you criticizing? Is it really love, or do you like them? You see, love and like do not have to go hand in hand. They're mutually exclusive. You can have them go hand in hand, but in most cases, probably not. Just something to contemplate. When you're one with everything, everything is a part of you. And you accept everything as a part of you. In human form, that's when we like, and that's when there's vibration. You see, our spiritual awareness is knowing that Spirit is expressing through us, and that no matter what we do, we cannot be separated from it. Here's the problem though, so much in our world contradicts this. We must spend time in meditation and contemplation, bringing our consciousness back to the realization of the sacred union, because we are disrupted in every moment by all the contrast that is going on. So this job of spiritual awareness is a full-time job. And guess what? In order to be a full-time job, we must be conscious. And how much of our days are spent conscious? Most of the time, we're living in that state of Pink Floyd, comfortably numb. We're not aware. We're not conscious. We're in a deep hypnotic state of the universe because we've been domesticated to believing that. Our job is to undomesticate ourselves. And here's the key. You can undomesticate yourself, but you cannot undomesticate others. Only they can do that. You see, since everyone is unique, each of us must find our own ways of reestablishing our union and spiritual awareness. It is based on our level of awareness that the universe brings experiences into our life. So that's why it's key. We find our uniqueness and our awareness so that we can bring life experiences in that are meaningful to us. By bringing in someone else's level of awareness, we're going to attract experiences that don't mean anything to us. So why would we care? Our job, my job, is to be unique. Your job is to be uniquely you. Your partner's job is to be uniquely them, not what you want them to be. They are not here to be what you want. Your partner, your parents, your family, whoever, they are not here. They're here to be them. Think about this. If people, when they were dating, went on a date and they were just their unique self, they were authentic, think about all the wasted time that could have been avoided. All the second, third, fourth dates, maybe years could be avoided. Because if you're being unique, a person will know immediately whether they're a match to you. But if you're not being unique, you're playing a game. That's the game that's happening in dating today. Because most of the time when people go on a date, they're not being unique. They're trying to do their best to please that other person, to make an impression on that other person. The hell with that, I say. Be you. Attract people who are attracted to you, because that's what you're looking for. We should always think of ourselves as an ever-increasing awareness and expanding consciousness. And this consciousness is forever being revealed. There can be no effective healing or demonstration or revelation until our soul reunites with its source. The power is in our ability to connect to oneness. And until the mind becomes fully aware of this union with spirit, it will struggle in isolation. That's why people say life is a struggle, because there is no union. That which we are seeking is within us. And until we realize it, we will struggle until we take the steps necessary to know our truth. The steps are simply this. Find a spiritual practice that you build that allows you to daily connect with your oneness, with your source, and in doing so, you reclaim your power.